Wow. You're very interesting. I'm definitely glad I got to sit down with you today. Definitely. So I definitely appreciate you for coming. So my next question is, being in your presence, it feels almost supernatural. Like, talk about your aura. Is that something you work on, or has it always been that way? How did that work? And what are some like reactions you've gotten from people?
It's interesting. The reactions I've gotten from people are very diverse. Sometimes people will stop me in the street. I have one lady, she stopped me and she looked at me and she said, "Are you real?" And she literally poked me, and I was so shocked that I didn't really have a reaction. I'm like, did she just touch me and ask me, "Am I real?" I'm like, at first it was hard for me to believe that sometimes people see me as, I guess, a beacon of light, because I'm human. And so sometimes people act like I'm not human, and that's kind of one of the cons of being a light being, because people sometimes only see you for the goodness that you offer and not the depth of who you are. But I've had some very diverse reactions. Honestly, I can't get into them all right here, right now. As far as my aura goes, I don't really know how to explain it. If you think of it like cleaning your body, I clean my aura, I take care of my spirit, because I know that how I show up to the world, it does affect things. I am very, very big on personal development, because what you do on the inside, it will show on the outside. And it's really just as simple as that.
That's dope. That's dope. And I noticed your nails too. What's that about?
So that's a really good question. I get a lot of comments on my nails. My nails, it's just something that represents my dark feminine energy.
Nice. I love that.
Yes.
So how did you get into speaking?
I got into speaking because during my low point, when I tell you guys that I had to choose my thoughts, I would have to feed my brain positivity. And so every morning I would listen to motivational speakers, and specifically Dr. Eric Thomas. I would feed his positive words to my brain so that I could have positive reinforcement in my behavior, in my attitude. And because of the impact that speaking made in my life, I wanted to impact others the same way through speaking.
So I noticed on your Instagram that you spend a lot of time on a farm around horses and around nature. Do you own a farm? Do you own horses? Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
The farm, that's my family farm. I love nature because nature grounds me. It is something that I cannot live without, obviously. You know, none of us can live without nature, but it is something that is very necessary for me. Because I live in the city, I make it my business to make sure that I do go out and ground, spend time with horses and connect with the nature. And I invite you all to come and do it too, because it is a beautiful experience. It's something that even just for a moment, it shifts your perspective. That is the type of thing that trickles off of your aura when you spend time with God created things that man did not make. It makes a big difference when you're connected to things that, you know, man didn't make.
If you had to leave the people with something, what would it be? The
main takeaway that I would want people to have is to remember that no matter what, no matter who, no matter how, as long as you decide that you want better, as long as you decide that you are worth more, as long as you decide that this is not the end for me, then it will not be. Don't let anyone write your story for you. You have to write your own narrative. You have to be the operative power in your life, no matter what. You can't let your children pick for you. You can't let your husband, your wife, you can't let your job, you cannot let anybody or anything tell you who you are. That is a choice for only you to make. Once you start choosing, you have to stay committed to the path or it won't work. So make the decision of who you want to be, what you want to have, and go on that path and don't turn back until you get it. And I promise you, the closer you get, the longer you stay on that path, the more your vision will come to pass. You don't even have to know what it will look like in the end. You don't have to have it all together, but you just have to start somewhere. So start with the little things that you can, and I promise you, starting small, you will end somewhere big just as long as you stay on that path. And the last thing I would say to women out there, you know, I love women and I speak passionately to them because I am a woman. It is very important to remember that before you could give your womb to a man, to a child, you have to give birth to yourself. Give birth to yourself and let it come to full bloom. Raise yourself. You are your first mother. You are your first lover. You are your first child. You know, I know that might sound a little crazy, a little bizarre, but if you just think about it for a second, your womb wasn't just given to you to serve others. It is a gift that is yours as well.
Let the people know how they could tap in with you.
Okay. You guys can connect with me on Patreon at Find Your Light Academy. That is where I do all of my self-development courses and one-on-ones. Follow my TikTok, Ziyon.fyl, and we're gonna make something beautiful happen.
Ziyon, again, thank you for coming. I know you have to go. Hopefully we can sit down again. I have so much more questions to ask you.